beer, rum, and rock and roll. Saving rock, one conversation at a time. With Randy Legault and Beau Shiminsky.
Hey, motherfucker!
Well, we're not 40 episode virgins anymore.
No,
Randy.
we are not, my friend.
Oh,
the
dude.
big 4-0. 40 of these fucking things.
Yeah. Seems like 8, 9 maybe.
I know.
You know?
It feels good.
I agree. I agree. 40.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. I'm not getting my the hair off my chest shaved off or anything for our 40th. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm big on the manscaping.
I am too, actually.
Oh, I bought a manscaper. Have you been inundated with these ads? The manscaper?
No, I don't say it often enough in my phone that I'm going to be inundated with all those ads.
Well, I don't either, but they're just, if you're watching YouTube, you're going to see this shit.
Okay.
And their ads are fucking hilarious.
Okay.
They're really funny. Like the marketing is really good.
Mm-hmm.
And long story longer, my sister sends me a clip of this comedian that we follow on Instagram, Kyle Dunnigan, fucking hilarious. Well, he's promoting it as a goof.
Okay.
And if you punch in his name, you get 10% off. I go, you know what? I'm going to buy one of these fucking things. Just to see. If it sucks, I'll send it back.
Did you get it?
I got it.
Okay.
Fuck, dude.
Really?
This thing is amazing.
Really?
Here's why it's amazing. This is way too much information, but I'm going to say it anyway. When you're trimming your junk, you got to be pretty fucking particular about how you holding that trimmer and shit.
Well, you got to know, you make sure you have the right guard on, because some numbers look the same and my eyes ain't so good.
And you nick it, you're bleeding for a week. You know, it's that kind of thing, right?
It just looks like somebody just got murdered in there. Yeah.
This
agreed.
eliminates all that. I don't know what they're doing with the edge of this trimmer, but you can just go fucking hog wild.
Really?
Really. It's a hundy. Like it's $100.
Yeah, but if it works, I'm always hesitant of the ads on the internet, you know, on the social media.
Exactly.
Typically, it's a shit storm, Randy.
Dude, I was laughing as I was clicking to buy this thing. I'm like, I'm a fucking sucker. This is, dude, this thing is fantastic.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say. Oh, dude. Maybe if we talk about it more, they'll send us a free one.
You know what? I think we send this to Manscaper and say, hey,
dude,
like to try it out.
That's hilarious.
It makes it look bigger.
Oh, you gain
Not that I need
at least half an inch.
but
you
I'm
gain at
just
least
saying.
half an inch, yeah.
Anyways,
Enough about our pubes.
move on.
All right, man. We're going to talk about Ozzy again. And this isn't a bad thing. This is a good thing. We talked about him on Top Metal Frontman. We talked about him 40th anniversary of Blizzard. Now we're going to talk about him again. What we're talking about is the latest A&E doc, 9 Lives of Ozzy Osbourne.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how I like to give you the synopsis, so I'm going to.
I'm going to the floor is
Are you
yours,
ready?
brother. The floor is yours. I'm going to drink.
Drink while I talk. The 9 Lives of Ozzy Osbourne traces Ozzy's life from childhood in poverty and time in prison to fronting the legendary Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees Black Sabbath and successful Grammy award-winning solo career, to one of rock's elder statesmen and a lovable 20th century television dad. The 2-hour doc explores how Ozzy had continually reinvented himself and his career to propel himself towards greater success. Ozzy turns 70 and reflects on the intimate details of his success, failures, and his unique ability to survive and perseverance, including never-before-seen interviews about his recent Parkinson's diagnosis. The documentary also features interviews with Sharon, Kelly, and Jack Osbourne, as well as friends and fellow musicians, including Rick Rubin, Ice-T, Manson, Zombie, Jonathan Davis from Korn, Post Malone, and more. So that's the basic gist of this doc. All right? I'm going to let you go first because I'm a gentleman.
Wow.
What did you think of the 9 Lives of Ozzy Osbourne?
Well, I'm a huge fan.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I've seen it a little bit of it before or know the stories, which if you're an Ozzy fan, you're going to know the stories, right? And they're going to cover the stories. I know that going in.
Yep.
But I liked it. Because it was Ozzy. I like the 9 Lives thing, the way they broke it down, the linear fashion. It just kind of worked, you know.
Right.
I did watch the Osbournes a bit.
I dabbled.
That right?
Yeah.
You know, I was into that kind of thing.
I found it hard.
I did, and I felt Ozzy was just, you know, the lovable dad he wasn't. It was just like he was drugged out the entire time, and you knew it, right? But here we're watching Ozzy in a different way, right? Even though the same cast, I could do without Sharon completely.
Right. Yeah.
I love it if the doc didn't have anything to do with her. But that's just never going to happen. We're never going to see an Ozzy doc that doesn't include copious amounts of Sharon.
Well, she runs the show. So.
Right.
It's funny, like, because, yeah, she obviously is his soulmate and saved his life and all that stuff, but she's just one of those people. I just see them and I just get agitated. Like, she just rubs me the wrong way. Her voice, just the tone of her voice, her as a person after switching those tracks out on Diary and Blizzard, all that stuff. Yeah, she just rubs me the wrong way.
So, yeah.
And that's
done.
enough of that. Yeah.
Yeah. I liked it. I liked the emotional side of Jack, you know,
Yeah.
touching at the end. I mean, I'm not going to get into every little minutia of this thing because the stories, they cover it all.
Yeah.
For
He
me.
got emotional. Yep.
And it was
Yeah.
interesting to feel that and see that. I wasn't expecting that.
Right.
It seems like a hardened family, TV family here. You know what I mean? I wasn't expecting to see any of that. I liked hearing the stories again from him. I liked watching some footage I hadn't seen.
Right.
There was a lot of that. I wish there was more, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
less about fans and more about Ozzy, you know, would have been nice for me.
Right.
But I did like it. I did
Yeah.
like it. And anytime you see Ozzy, I don't care. He's a cool motherfucker.
He is. Yeah. And well, what you said off the top is exactly what I was going to say. I know going in, I know the story already,
Right.
but I love him as you do.
Yeah.
So I'm going to watch this fucking thing, period.
Yeah.
I also know that because it's A&E and him and Jack have that show as well on A&E where they travel around and do shit.
Right.
So
right.
that's your tie-in.
Right.
So
right.
this is not going to be some edgy thing. This is
No.
going to be very PG.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I know that going in.
Right.
It's not what I want, but I know that's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. I learned nothing,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
But again, I love Ozzy, so I'm going to watch it.
Right.
But I learned nothing is the thing, right?
Right.
Like there's these two docs already.
Right. That one.
This one came out right around No More Tears.
Right.
And it's way better.
Yes.
It covers everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the one to watch.
Mm-hmm.
This one's not bad. Jack did this, co-produced this one. What it is they follow him 2 years on the road.
Right.
And then they intercut his story in it. So
Right.
it's a lot. Some of the same stuff from both these docs are in this A&E one.
Right.
Interviews and footage and everything.
Right.
So it's a bit of a rehash. They just tack on the Parkinson stuff and new interviews or whatever.
Right. Right.
And it's not bad. But this Don't Blame Me is the one. You and I are not the audience for this thing. We're not.
That's exactly why this is out
Right?
there. Exactly.
The audience for this thing, and I have proof, is like my mom watches The Talk that Sharon's on. It's like The View, bunch of chicks sitting around chit-chatting about current events and shit that Sharon's on. So my mom knows who she is and knows who Ozzy is and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
So her and my dad watch the Ozzy doc. They watch it.
Sure.
And enjoy it. Hey,
Yeah.
she calls me. What'd you think of the documentary?
Well, he is 70, so it's like,
Right.
yeah. There's
That's
that.
the audience.
Right.
It is. For people who don't know that much about him and don't know the story inside out like we do.
And now he's not a scary monster anymore.
No,
right?
well, he hasn't been for a long time.
I know that, but
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just like Gene Simmons' Family Jewels. He's not the demon. He's just some dad or whatever. All that is, the Osbournes, is about marketing him to people who aren't metal fans. And it worked.
I know.
He's a household name and good for them. It just equals fucking dough, right?
Right.
So my parents watched it. So that's the audience for that.
Did they beep shit out in this thing? I'm trying to
Oh,
remember.
it's A&E for sure. They censored the swearing for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was the most annoying thing.
But you knew that going in too.
Well,
It's not HBO, you know?
I know. It's just hard in this day and age that this still happens. This is a good commentary to have because I just don't understand. I don't like giving the words power, any of that. That's just conversational talk to me. In my house,
Right.
my conversations, my kids, they've known me to not control my vocabulary, you know?
Sure. Well, to each his own.
Right? And it was
Yeah.
one of those things where I think we're at a time right now when we're doing a documentary on Ozzy
Mm-hmm.
and rock and roll and badassery, right? This is sticking around. It's from last show.
You like that term, eh? I've started something.
You did. I don't understand why this has to happen anymore. I just don't get it.
I hear you. It doesn't bother me. I know they're going to do that, and I don't need to hear the word fuck. I'm fine. Like, whatever. I don't care.
Exactly.
Yeah, and this is kind of to our point. It's not what I want it to be. They don't even mention Jake E. Lee. They don't even mention Zakk Wylde. I mean, they don't talk about music really at all. Like, they talk about Crazy Train and Mama, I'm Coming Home. Like, it's not about that. Like, this is not a deep dive into Ozzy's career. Banger Films did the Alice Cooper doc in 2 hours, and they hit everything. You can do it if you want to hit it.
But your parents aren't going to care about Jake E. Lee.
That's what I'm saying. This was not for me. This is not what I want.
Right, I know.
And I still don't think, as good as this one is or this one might be, they still haven't done it right. Like, I think Banger Film should get a hold of Ozzy and do it right.
Right.
That's what I think. He deserves more than what this is.
No, and
Quit skimming. My mom knows who he is already. Like, let's get in there and talk about this guy's career, because he's not a clown that he's portrayed as on the Osbournes. He's not that.
Well, he was.
Oh, he's playing up to the cameras. Like, come on.
Well, even without the cameras
That shit's
around,
not
he was
real.
a fucking, you know.
Oh, yeah.
He was
liked
Mr. Frivolity.
Well, he
You
likes
know?
to have a good time.
Yeah.
But he's got musically more going on. He's not just some fucking goofball who sings some songs. Like,
No.
he's got it going on.
No.
And I think your average fan, let's say who gravitates to this, doesn't know that.
That's the interesting thing about Ozzy. It was that he wasn't much of a musician or a writer.
Well, it
or
depends how
any.
you define that, I guess.
I mean, if he can write melody, if they hadn't even done that yet, and the jury's still out on how much he could contributed to
Right.
any of that. Bark at the Moon, like, it's all Ozzy credited, but he didn't
Right.
do any of that. You know what I mean?
He
just
doesn't write lyrics, but
and he doesn't write.
there's a
music.
reason these A-listers want to work with him. It's not because he doesn't know what he's doing or he just sings.
He's got a thing. He's got a fucking thing.
He's got a thing that's
That's
more
right.
than, Sharon, how do you work the remote? That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Anything else? Oh, yeah, you kind of touched on it. I really liked the last, no, it wasn't even a third, but the last act where you had these guys like Zombie and Jonathan Davis saying, Ozzy's no fucking joke, kind of what I'm saying, and praising this guy. That was the best part for me. And Jack getting emotional at the end. That last part was by far the best part of the doc.
It was hard to see him in human terms, right?
Right.
I mean, my first experience was hearing Black Sabbath, but seeing him was when he was doing solo stuff, right?
Yep.
You don't think of these guys that are so that bigger than life as human beings.
Well, the image is one thing and the man's another, right?
Right. And he like he says at the start, you know, in this doc, talking about, you know, I'm Ozzy, but then when I'm off stage, I'm John.
Yeah.
Now he's like, if somebody said John, I wouldn't even respond, you know,
Right.
kind of thing.
Right.
So he's Ozzy, right? Plain and true. It wasn't fun a lot of the times, and it was heavy and weird. And to see this guy, this crazy dude, as your dad or as a granddad, or, you know, because he's 70, you know what I mean? It's crazy. It puts it into perspective, that whole last 20 minutes you're talking about here.
Yeah.
That's where it focused on.
The quote that I jotted down was Jack said, there's guilt and shame associated with his journey. And that just fucking nailed it. Because, like, when you're on the road that much, like he is, how do you adjust to hanging out with your family and your kids and shit? It would be tough, right? Like, this is a whole different world. And he had struggled with that. So he's fucking hammered all the time. Like this documentary here, this one, they talked to his 2 kids from his first marriage. And it's very candid. Like, Jack's interviewing them. You can hear him off camera. And they're like, he was a fucking horrible dad.
Yeah.
He was never around.
Yeah.
And when he was there, he's hammered.
Wow.
Well, I know why they do it. Like, he's 23, early 20s, he gets married. Sabbath is just fucking taken off. He's like, living the dream. Well, why are you getting married and having kids? Why are you doing that? Well, they want that over here. You know, they want that stability, and then they want to fucking do their own thing and come back to that. Don't get married. Don't have kids.
Yeah, but-
till later on. Because their lives, they had no dad. Like, that's not fucking cool. That's super fucking selfish, right?
I see where he was coming from, though, wanting that, because
Yeah.
He talked about the first bit of money he got, and he went and got some deodorant or something, or some Brute spray on to make him smell better.
Brute by Fabergé.
Right, or something. And
Yeah.
and some shoes. Like, the squalor that he grew up in will fuck your mind up to the point where, okay, I got a little bit of money now. I don't know how long this is going to last. You don't have this vision that you're going to be a superstar, you know,
For 50 years?
for 6 months, let alone this long.
Right.
So he's going, oh, okay, I got this. I can have this, something that I never had. You know what I mean? Like a house and you know, and
Yeah.
I see the charm and exactly why he would do it.
Would do
Was
what?
it-
Get married?
Get married, have kids, like, you know, have
See, I don't. If
some
that-
grounding, because it was all just
That
so
would be the
flighted.
last thing I wanted.
I'm just saying,
Like, if you're
his
going to be
mom-
banging chicks left, right, and center and fucking never home, why would you do that? Like, I don't get it. That would be the last thing in my mind.
I'm just saying it's the way he was raised. It's like he wanted to have that
But if you're not,
as
if you
some
have no
grounding thing, because everything was so fucking crazy. you
I
know?
get that's right. It's kind of grounding. But if you're never there, I just think, man, if I was 22, living the dream, getting married and having kids would be the last fucking thing on my mind. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Poor or not.
We saw that a decade later.
Like, shit, man.
We saw that a decade later.
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to sum up for me, I liked it for what it was, but I learned zero. I already knew all that shit, and it could be done way better. I want the definitive Ozzy doc. This was nowhere fucking near that.
I know.
It's well done. It's good. But if you're an Ozzy fan, you're going to learn very little.
No, of course.
Just enjoy it for what it is
Yeah.
and fucking turn the page, right?
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Are we good?
I think so. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I said
Yeah,
all
yeah.
I had to say. Okay, next up is this bad boy right here, which is an album that you can stream and a Blu-ray that you can watch. So there it is.
So you did get the Blu-ray.
Oh, fuck. Who are you
Yeah.
talking
Oh,
to?
fuck. Oh, fuck.
Do you forget who's across the table from you? This is Metallica's latest, S&M2. Now, before we dive into what we thought of that, I just want to give people a little bit of background. So Lars Ulrich is a Deep Purple freak,
Right.
okay? And they were the first band to blend that metal orchestra thing. Now, I gotta read this because it doesn't roll off the tongue. They did their concert, and it was called Concerto for Group and Orchestra.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was 1969. This is all John Lord, the keyboard player. It was all his baby.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is all his idea.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's 69. And Lars is a Deep Purple freak, like I said, so he knows all that, obviously. And they do S&M1. Shot at Berkeley with the same San Francisco Symphony Orchestra. Much smaller venue. It's more like a theater size venue. And it sold about 8 million copies. Okay. So yeah, there's audio and this is the video, obviously. Metallica, you got to give it to them in that they're pioneers. So they do this, and then Kiss does it, and then Styx does it, and Malmsteen does it. You know, it becomes the thing. And some work better than others. This is the 20th anniversary of those original shows.
Right.
Okay. So they're thinking, hey, let's fucking do this again, bigger. So this is the brand new arena in San Francisco, Chase Center. Nobody's played there yet. It's brand fucking new.
Yeah. This is last year.
In the round, 20,000 people, September
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah.
So let's celebrate that. So they're with the San Francisco Symphony again, 2 shows, sold right the fuck out. Notable difference, Michael Kamen conducted this one, and he's worked with a ton of rock bands, like fucking Queensryche and fucking Rush, Clapton, Pink Floyd. He was the go-to guy if you wanted some orchestration done. Well, he passed away 2003.
Okay.
All right. So there's a different dude there's 2 guys doing this one.
Right.
Edwin Outwater and Michael Tilson Thomas. So yeah, does that make sense? That's the background on it.
Well,
So it's number 2.
I'm familiar with the first one. I always thought it was a great idea. I thought the music always kind of lent itself to kind of work within that realm.
Yeah.
And I very much enjoyed listening to the first one.
Right. Well, some songs work better than others.
Of course, and how they arranged it left you questioning it.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
it's always nice to just crank up your system and hear it this way.
Right.
It's just a different way to experience it.
Yeah.
It's almost very theatrical,
Yeah.
score-like, right? Which I always like that connection. And so I was very much aware of the first one.
Yeah.
And I think I even asked you, hey, are we going down to San Francisco to catch S&M2? Because to me,
That'd be a tough ticket. Yeah.
that is the way I would want to experience hearing this. Be there.
Oh, be there.
In the fucking room with the orchestra. Like that there, tops, trumps, everything. It's hard to even get close.
This puts you there.
I mean, fine. You got a Blu-ray and you can feel that.
It's fucking crazy.
And I'm sure it is, but there's something about, especially because this is the second time they've done it.
Yeah.
And a lot of similar tracks.
About half the album is
exactly. So it's one of those things where, I'm surprised they did it the second time. Because half the record is the same.
But if you look at this and look at this, there's a reason.
Sure. So they're providing content.
Insane.
Right.
Compared to this one, right? I mean, this is good. Mm-hmm. And that's an interesting point because I thought too, like, I'll be honest, the audio only of either one of these, I will rarely visit.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Right.
That it just makes it that much better.
Agreed.
Like I'm going to listen to Master of Puppets, the original, not the orchestrated one, unless I'm watching it though. This is a different thing.
See, and this is where I'm coming from because I do not have the Blu-ray. So we're reviewing this record here.
Right. Well, we're reviewing both at the same time.
We're reviewing both, but that's the way I did it, and I'm going.
Well, there's a bunch of cuts on YouTube.
Yeah, and I haven't gone. I haven't gone, but it's like I listen to it on music's sake. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And it's it just reminds me how good they are at working this thing and how cool it does sound. But man, as I'm listening, I'm going, I'd rather be there.
Of course.
That was the whole conversation.
Of course. That goes without saying. Yeah.
Yeah. But surprisingly, they did it twice. It's just purely for content.
Well, they wanted to do it fucking bigger and better, and they did.
Yeah.
And yes, half the set list is the same, but they don't lean completely on the old shit. Like they got rid of Battery and they got rid of Sad But True, and they added some newer shit.
Yeah.
Like Day That Never Comes. They did something off Saint Anger, All Within My Hands. And what I was finding was I'm not a huge fan of some of these songs, but watching this, like Memory Remains, I don't like that song, but on here with the orchestra, I'm like, fuck, that's pretty good. Like it adds a different dynamic that's really powerful, man.
I feel like there was moments, and I listened to a lot of it. Like I don't think I went through all 22 tracks.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think there's a couple I skipped, but even just listening to the arrangements and stuff like that, they went over the top with the orchestration.
Oh yeah.
Where I feel like they could have settled it back just a touch.
You said subtle and Metallica at the same time?
Yeah, I know. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I didn't need the flutes in that verse section. You know what I'm saying? Like I really didn't.
Well, you're really listening then. That's good. That's good.
Of course, man. This is what it's about.
What they did though, like Master of Puppets, obviously they did on 1 and 2, but they switched the arrangement up. Like they at least tried to freshen up the tracks that they duplicated. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
Moth Into the Flame and Halo on Fire from Hardwired were fucking really cool, I thought. Whom the Bell Tolls, they did a great job of that again.
Yeah, that's a great song to use the orchestration with.
Right?
Oh,
yeah, totally,
please.
right?
Yeah.
And like you said, they're tight as fuck. I've been a Metallica fan since fucking Master, and they've seen them a ton of times. I'm to the point where I'm a bit bored with them. I'll be honest. Mm-hmm. But this is not boring. This is fucking. I was excited watching this. Like, holy fuck! You just forget, man. Man, these guys are good.
Right.
Like, what other band could do this on this level? Nobody. I don't think anybody could.
And it has a lot to do with that guy on your shirt, in my opinion.
Fuck yeah. Oh, speaking of him, How about Unforgiven 3?
Yeah.
No guitar, by himself, with the orchestra singing.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. That's ballsy as fuck to do that.
But they mixed him so out front, in front of this orchestra. If I could say the shining star, I'm like, wow, this guy was committed to this. I mean, yeah, they all played great and whatever, fine, but
Yeah.
he's carrying the load. And he sure brought it, man, because...
Yes, he brought it on that fucking song.
Oh.
Like when I saw that, I'm like, holy shit, good for him. I have to look down at this guy's name because another part I really fucking loved was Scott Pingell playing that upright bass doing Anesthesia, Pulling Teeth, tribute to Cliff. That was fucking wicked.
Yeah.
It was fucking cool as hell. Like it was emotional. I'm
Yeah.
like, holy shit, this is really good.
Yeah.
Because he's just fucking giving her on this upright, hey?
Yeah.
Oh man, it was cool. Just the confidence and fearlessness of Metallica. They don't give a fuck. We're going to do this. We're going to do it big. And that's that.
Yeah, but they didn't really have to worry. They'd done it once already before. The
I
second
know,
time
but-
around, it's like, I think it would have been way more fearful the first time. They're going, how the fuck is this going to go?
Or nobody's going to care because it's the second time around.
True. And that's the way I went into
There's
it.
that.
That's the way I went into it. But
Yeah.
I mean, again, I got to watch the visuals.
But
And
they
that's
did one up it.
Yeah.
Wayne Isham directed this, and he's done fuck. Look him up. He's done rock videos out the ass. He's the go-to guy, and he did a wicked job. The shots of the crowd, everybody is just fucking grinning ear to ear. Like people are loving every note that was played on this thing, man, and it's powerful to see that.
I'm telling you, man, when you got that amount of acoustic instruments
Yeah,
mic'd and filling out that space along with nasty guitars and big drums,
yes.
I mean, your body is feeling something it just does not get. You know, it's sonically very different.
So this was released October 9th, my birthday, in 2019 in theaters. 1.2 million it made in North America. A concert film
Yeah.
made 1.2 million. Total 5.5 million internationally. Highest grossing rock cinema event ever.
Wow.
That's who these guys are.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like,
I'm surprised
Holy
at how
fuck.
quickly they turned it around. They shot it in
Right.
September and they released it in
October
one
9th.
month.
yeah.
So they took this footage.
Lars probably said, here's what's going to happen. You guys are going to turn this around in 4 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. I never even thought of that. You're right. Absolutely right.
Like, it's very difficult to turn something that large. I don't know how many cameras.
They must have just been going for it, hey?
Wow, that's night and day.
Fucking team.
That's fucking night and day. But they'd probably be super fucking fans getting involved in that.
Right.
Fuck, what? I get to cut a documentary
Totally.
of fucking Metallica?
I don't
Yeah,
need- I don't need
I'll
to-
work all night for a month, no
I
problem.
don't need to sleep.
Yeah, who cares?
My only negatives, because this is just the way I roll, right? I'm nitpicky. James's hair. I don't know what he's doing here. I hope he cut it. It looks fucking lame. It's all slicked back. It looks fucking terrible. And Lars has to get rid of the fucking baseball cap. Embrace your baldness. Anyways, yeah, it's fucking wicked. That's my review. Thumbs up, 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 up.
Yeah, I got to watch it. I just listened
Yeah.
to it.
So you liked what you heard, yes?
I did, but I mean, it was a lot of the same from before. So I was not like I was that moved. That's all I'm saying. I just
Right.
imagined myself wanting to watch this and see this.
Yeah.
So I just don't see the value of listening to it. I just know I won't, right?
All right, up next is the latest from Blues Pills. Holy Moly. Just to briefly describe what they are, they're from Sweden. They're a Swedish retro rock band, for a lack of a better fucking phrase. They're like psychedelic blues rock mixed with British blues rock. Right? Wouldn't you say that's kind of close?
You kind of
Kind of. It's hard to describe.
shove it into a box somehow, yeah.
Yeah, and like the White Stripes and even Rival Sons, they're retro, but they sound like them. Like they're 3 albums deep now, and I've been into them for a while. They sound like Blues Pills. It's not like they're a direct ripoff of some other band. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I don't get that from them.
No.
I just think it's part of that whole indie blues rock. It's
Yes.
just, it's very noisy blues, you know. It's
Yeah.
not all about melody or anything like that. It's definitely just banging, clanging kind of stuff.
Banging, clanging, is it ever, man?
Yeah.
And it's awesome. Like I said, it's album number 3. It's a follow-up to 2016's Lady in Gold, which is great. The big shift here is Zach Anderson went from bass to guitar.
Yeah, they got rid of the young guitar player they had.
I mean, the names are crazy, right? Their guitar players, Dorian, Sorial, whatever. Their guitar player left. This is the short story in 2018. So the bass player goes, well, I'll fucking play guitar. And then they got another bass player. So there was a bit of a shift there. And that dude, who's now the guitar player, produced the album.
Okay.
So they're very independent.
Yeah.
Fuck you, we're doing what we want.
Sure.
Type of vibe, right?
Yeah.
But Aaron Larson, the singer, is the fucking key here for me. Her voice is fucking fantastic. I think. Grace Slick meets Janis Joplin kind of vibe. It's got soul in it. It's melodic. I love her voice. And to what you were saying, that fuzz tone guitar, love that too. Fuzz it up all the way through. I'm good.
Yeah, you like the big muff sound.
I
right?
like Big Muff. I like a Big Muff.
Randy's a big muff fan.
Anyway,
He's going down on the big muff.
as you might be. Oh, I'm not shy. As you might be guessing, this is going to be a thumbs up review for me. But let's talk about some tracks, or tell me what you thought of it, or whatever.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I thought.
Yeah.
I think she's a powerful singer.
Right?
And I think that the music has, I like the band. I like what they do. I like what they stylistically.
Yeah.
Fine live. But I can't listen to the record.
What do you mean?
I can listen to it, but I don't enjoy it.
What?
Too much screaming, too much on the edge of not really musical anymore. It's just angry, good-looking girl, charismatic. You know, the band's young. They got a youthful indie blues sense to them. I mean, again, it's the band sounds great, but when I'm listening to the record, I'm going, oh man, she's just angry and yelling, and almost to the point where it's not pleasing to me to listen to.
Okay. Fair enough.
So it was kind of one of those things where if I was at a show and she's wailing it out like Janis, but Janis would bring it down. She didn't bring it down much. I mean, there's one track, I think the last track was kind of in that range, and maybe one other. But for the most part, she was yelling at me, you know, where I'd rather see and experience this record live. That's it.
So you think she would tone it down live?
No, I just think that that's when I can accept that energy and accept that aggressive tonality of her and whatever. But listening to the record, it just kind of stayed there too much for me, man. Like it was just.
But that's not going to get better live.
Well, yeah, it is, because to me, live is kind of where I'd want to experience and kind of forgive some of that and just watch the energy. And again, maybe watching the music videos. You know, I think I watched the first one, the lead single.
Was it Proud Woman? Was it
Proud,
that one?
Proud
Yeah,
Woman,
I like that
right?
a lot. Yeah.
Sure, musically, it's great. And I mean, I didn't mind that being a lead track, but then she continued to yell and be angry at me for the next 4 or 5. And you know what I mean? And of course, I get it. I hear Janis in there, and and Janis didn't have the sweetest sound either, but she had this quality where this didn't quite work for me that level.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
I'm saying, listening to it, it just didn't bring me in. I'd want to just feel it live or see it live, but listening to this record, I wouldn't listen to it much. That's me.
Right.
Yeah.
We rarely disagree. We're disagreeing here, so that's cool. Because I fucking loved it.
And it all depends on in the mood you're into. And I find that when who knows, maybe go back and give it another second listen. But I wasn't sitting there going, I want to hear more. I was actually like, fuck, that's enough.
That's enough of that.
You know what I mean? And I'm
fair
good.
enough.
Yeah.
I'm always in the mood to rock, and this fucking album rocks.
I'm always in the mood to rock, baby.
Like Proud Woman we talked about. Low Road absolutely fucking rocks. This is, again, that's another single with a video. This is what I want from these guys. In California, that power ballad, it sounded like a little country-ish. That was different. Also cool, I thought. Rhythm in My Blood fucking rocked.
There's a killer on the loose. There's a killer on the loose.
Kiss My Past Goodbye. Killer vocal. And when she says, kiss it, bitch, I just got goosebumps. I love that shit.
I hold my head up high. I hold my head up high. I kiss my past goodbye. Kiss it, bitch.
And the last track that stood out was Lasting Friend, the closing track. I love the way it builds. It builds nice and slow, and it just fucking powerful at the end. I just think these guys are in their 20s and clearly passionate about this kind of music and committed to it in a real way, and I feel that. So I thought it was fucking awesome. That's my review. Awesome. Awesomeness. Full of awesomeness. But I'm a sucker for everything they're doing. I just am. As soon as I heard that lead-off single, I'm like, well, if the rest of the album's kind of like this, I'm fucking in. Up to my eyeballs. That's my story.
That's all I got, man.
Thumbs up. Your thumbs down.
Mad because of the vocal.
Yeah, if the singer's rubbing you the wrong way, there's no getting past it, man.
It just got to me after a while.
That's what I mean. You can't help
For
that.
the odd track, it worked, right? But it just, this is all I'm saying.
For an entire album.
It just got too much.
I get
right?
it, man.
Yeah.
Couple quick mentions before we sign off on this show. Roger Waters' Us and Them finally came out on Blu-ray. I think I made note of it here. Episode 22, I reviewed the film because I went to see it. It took a fucking year. I don't know why it takes so long for this actually to come out, to buy it. And you can stream it. The problem with streaming is you don't get the audio. You get stereo. This has got full-on Atmos, DTS, 5.1, 7.1. Fuck, it's killer. Yeah. Roger Waters' Us and Them. I just wanted to mention that. I don't know why it takes a year for this shit to come out, but it's finally out. And another one I want to mention, you saw John 5 about a year ago, right? It was about a year ago.
Did. Yeah.
He's got a live album out and a live show you can buy on his website and stream. So on Vimeo. It's short. I think it's about 50 minutes long. I'm sure he played longer than that for you. That's what it is. And it's really cool because I couldn't go. I'm like, oh, this is what Beau saw. Fuck, it just kind of put another salt in the wound, put some salt in the wound. I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
And here's my negative part about it. If I want to watch your videos, like your regular videos for your songs on YouTube, I'll do that. I don't need that intercut with the concert. I'm watching the concert because I want to watch the fucking concert, not your video for that song.
Right.
That's my only, it's over edited that way. Other than that, it's really good. And the other cool thing is at the end, and you can see this on YouTube, he plays the whiskey and Fred Curry from Cinderella comes out on drums. Michael Anthony comes out on bass and Corey Taylor comes out on vocals and they do Take Your Whiskey Home off Women and Children First.
Oh, cool.
Oh, dude, it's fucking wicked. Here's my question to you, though, because you were there live. What's with the drooling? I don't get this. Why does he drool all over the fucking place? Did he do that for you?
Drooling.
He's playing away, and he just starts fucking spitting onto the floor.
I don't recall that one bit.
Well, maybe he wasn't feeling drooly that night. Because watching this fucking, apparently it's his thing. Like, why are you doing that? It's fucking disgusting.
Wow.
Like, he just slowly kind of hangs it out, and he just fucking, like, what are you doing? Bizarre. Dude,
I think I would have noticed that.
You'd think you're in a small club. You would have saw that.
I think I was, maybe 2 people in front of me.
Right.
I didn't notice that one bit.
Man, it was weird, dude.
Huh.
Didn't get it. Anyways, yeah.
I don't get spitting in general.
Me neither.
Ooh, dude. And I was in the punk thing.
Right. I think
There's a lot of that.
it should be like, where do they cane you for spitting?
Singapore.
I like that.
Yeah, Singapore don't allow no spitting on the sidewalk, son. But what's hard to watch,
Yeah.
and my wife talks about it all the time too, is sports. Because every close-up on somebody on the hockey bench or on the baseball, and they've tried to minimize the chewing tobacco there, but they're still
sometimes
spitting.
it's gum.
It's gum, but they're still spitting.
Sunflower seeds too.
But it was like, or this, and then you got the nose candies.
That makes some sense maybe if you're stuffed up or something.
Sure, but I mean, it's still you
old snot rocket.
But you see this, and they got these high def close up cameras on the fucking bench there.
Let's slow that down.
Oh fuck! And you could if you wanted to.
For some reason, the baseball one, maybe it's because it's outside, doesn't bother me as much as the hockey bench. Like I think it's habit. They're just sitting there spitting on the bench.
Oh my God,
it's so gross.
They have to hose that shit down. And they probably don't in the small towns and shit like those rinks. That's caked in.
Well, how about with COVID? What are they doing? So some lackey has to go clean up the spit in the bench? Holy fuck, dude.
But then you talk about it with music, and you got punk at the time where I didn't enjoy it, but I saw it happen a lot.
They thought it was...
And Headstones, I remember going...
That means they liked you, didn't it? It did, I'm pretty sure.
Well, whatever somebody wanted to give a rationale for it, it was never something that I agreed with, right? But I remember going to see the Headstones play at the back alley. And Hugh is just spitting all the time.
The singer, you mean?
Yeah. Just firing them. Straight down or just in the front row.
What is
kind
that?
of. Yeah, it's just like Teeter and the Monkey Man. Get it out of cash. It's just like
what is that?
It was just bizarre, right?
Like you see at the odd time a singer will clear his throat on stage, but not constantly like that.
And this is my memory of it, and again, recollections of 2020, especially because of this stuff, but
right.
But to the point where I was off put by how much was going on.
Zach Wilde did a bunch of that. He doesn't do it so much now.
I've seen him spit up and catch it kind of shit,
like,
right?
what is
or
that?
The beer. Maybe it was the beer he was spraying up. Either way,
there's a
it's still
particular
weird.
concert DVD when he was with Ozzy. I think it's in Japan or somewhere like that. And it's fucking, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, he doesn't do it as much now, but I'm like, it's fucking gross.
I don't get it.
What is going on?
And funny, because you look at Zach Wilde pre-crazy fucking lumberjack.
God, he was
Zach
badass
Wilde
back then, yeah.
When he was younger,
Yeah.
that would never happen. He was
so
a pretty
cool.
boy and fuck.
Getting it done. Oh, and now I'm thinking of Manson. I've got a Antichrist Superstar era, so him at his craziest concert. And he's encouraging it, like he's out of his fucking mind, right? This is when he's cutting himself and doing all that crazy shit. And you could just see in the lights, you could see it coming at him, hey?
People spitting on him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Spit on me! Like, he encouraged it. And it was just fucking disgusting. Just, geesh, geesh. And he's singing. Like, it's going in his mouth, I'm sure, or whatever. It was just, it's insane, dude.
Going in his mouth.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. It's.
I don't understand the spitting thing, just to come full circle.
Yeah, and I never got it even at a young age. When you're a kid in a punk scene, you think you just kind of do. Even then, it was like, no thanks.
Well, you see young kids, they think it's kind of cool, hey? Spit on the street or whatever. It's not.
I never felt that. I
didn't
don't know how
either.
you do. I just don't know where it comes
That's how
from.
they're raised, Beau.
It's all the rage.
It's how they're raised. Okay, the only other one I wanted to mention is Stray Cats. We talked about their reunion album, 40. Well, now there's a live album. So it's the original guys, Setzer, Lee Rocker, and Jim Phantom back.
Right.
And it's called Rocked This Town from LA to London. It's that 40th anniversary tour. Again, I want the video. I don't just want the audio. I want the video to this, if there is one. It's 23 tracks. It's hits and some shit off the new one. If you like Stray Cats, you're going to like it. That's my speech.
See, it's interesting we're having this conversation about...
I want to see it.
About, listening to Kiss Alive.
Theater of the mind, I think you said.
Okay,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So listening to Kiss Alive as a kid and experiencing a Kiss record that way, it didn't matter. It sounded great. It sounded better than the originals, right?
I agree.
Listening to Metallica, S&M, second time around,
Right.
just audio only. It's just it doesn't have the appeal.
It's more of the same.
It's more of the same.
Yeah.
You know,
Except for the newer, half of it's newer tracks, though, that weren't on the first one.
There were
So half of it.
Yeah, half of it.
Yeah.
And even then, you gotta be a Metallica guy to want to hear those
You're right.
tracks that way.
Yeah.
It's a tough sell audio only is all I'm getting at. And that's the way I've experienced it this time around.
I agree.
Again, I know I'm going to
I agree with that.
get concerned how close they are when I watch it at the Randplex. But
Oh, dude, I fired it up.
yeah,
Yeah, and I'm not bragging, but if you got a system like I do, it's fucking powerful, man. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Call of Cthulhu from
Yeah.
Ride the Lightning. That's
Yeah.
what they start with. Again, same with S&M1.
sure. Yeah.
You're going to get goosebumps.
It's a great way to start
I
a show.
guarantee it.
Yeah.
It's so big and majestic and fucking huge sounding.
Yeah.
It's undeniable.
Right.
It's just so powerful. Well, you know that. You get
Yeah.
an orchestra that big
Yeah.
and that band cranking it. It's really cool.
So it's hard to listen to a live album now. This is what I'm getting to.
I see.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, like you, I'm not a huge live album guy. I'm not. I mean, there are your milestones like Kiss Alive, like you said, and Thin
Back
Lizzy
in the
Live
day
and
when you didn't
Dangerous.
have it, right? But now with the video thing, it's like, why bother? Is my point.
Yeah.
Because it's not good. It was lackluster. Is that why I didn't come in here with glowing reports? It's like,
Right.
yeah, you have to. It's almost like a prerequisite. You have to watch the visuals.
You gotta see this shit.
Otherwise, it's
Well,
not going to do much for you.
On that note, that last Iron Maiden tour was amazing. Like, the show was incredible.
Yeah,
And they're pretty much every tour you're going to get your Blu-ray.
yeah.
Well, they announced new live album
Mm-hmm.
from the Legacy of the Beast tour. I'm like, sweet. Not yet.
Mm-hmm.
No Blu-ray yet.
Right.
Just the audio.
Interesting.
I'm like, fuck you. Give me the Blu-ray. So I right on their or Twitter feed. I'm like, where's the Blu-ray?
Nice. Yeah.
Geek.
Remember Live After Death?
Remember it. I bet you have watched that thing
Remember when you were in the Beatles? Yeah,
a
exactly.
couple hundred times easy.
Yeah. See, it's just now it's.
But they will. They every
Of course
tour,
they will.
They will.
I just saying it has to happen now. It can't be without.
Because to your point, I'll probably skim it. Yeah, okay, audio, great. But I want that audio visual combo.
You
is
need
really
it.
what I want.
You totally need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy, that was fun, man. Yeah.
Hey, I'm just gonna keep free balling here.
Free balling. You're not wearing underwear?
I decided not to today. I'm just shifting things as I go.
Wait till you manscape and free ball. Then you got something going on.
By the way, and that's another reason why I manscape, because the tattoos shine a little more,
There you go.
right?
Yeah.
But I'm going back under the needle in December.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to the unveiling.
I'm very excited. Yeah, it's.
Where are you putting it? Can you tell me that? Or is that a secret too?
One of my arms is getting more stuff done. It's planned out,
Right on.
scheduled. December, I'm going in. I'm just saying about the not only the artistry behind it, because I got a new artist that I'm working with on this one,
Yeah.
but also just the whole process is a thing.
Oh,
You
tell me
know,
about it, man.
right?
I see this, and then I see this space right here.
Yeah,
Well, I got to even that out.
I know.
It's all I can do not to get
it's
another
exciting. So I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to that.
It's addictive, man, because it's this here. You just keep bouncing, right?
Yeah.
It's like, well, with Eddie passing away, my gears are going there, right? Tattoo wise, my gears are going there.
Oh, are they? Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
see.
I mean, you knew it was going to happen. Just when, right?
Well,
This is our
it's going to happen to us all, Beau.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I mean.
Yeah.
There wasn't cut down.
I'm still hanging on.
Yeah.
Still hanging on
Look
with
at that, the VH.
the VH.
I mean,
necklace.
did you watch Saturday Night Live last night?
I watched the clip. I haven't watched the whole show, but I watched Jack do his
watched
thing.
Jack, yeah.
And he touched on it. Yeah, I mean, come on. I love the fucking racket he makes.
Well, I just liked Bill Burr at the end. He's wearing his Van Halen 1984.
Oh, he did, hey?
Yeah, he was
Right
wearing his
on.
I got the white version. He's got the black version. So he's
He's a big music guy. It doesn't surprise me.
yeah. So he went there, and
He's a drummer, hey?
Jack went there, and they also clicked an old clip of Eddie playing.
Well, with GE, that one? Stompin' 8H? That one?
Yeah.
That's a great clip.
It is.
It reeks of the 80s.
If it just stuck with Eddie.
Yeah,
If it just stuck with Eddie.
yeah, GE, he's a great player.
Sure
but
he
there's
is.
something about him that's a bit annoying. I don't know what it is.
I can't watch him.
But man, Eddie's outfit.
Oh, I know.
Oh my God.
It was like right out of Le Chateau. Remember that store?
Fucking Eddie representing Le Chateau.
Yes, exactly.
Oh man, but I remember watching that clip over and over, dude. And he had a tail, Eddie did. I'm like, dude.
And he just happened to be in a studio somewhere around there, and
Well,
they just asked him
Valerie
to
was
do-
hosting.
Oh, Valerie. Yeah, but he was hanging out in the studio.
Well, of course,
yeah, exactly.
Hey, do you want to jam? Sure.
Fuck.
Really cool. Yeah.
It was all last minute. That was the craziest, coolest thing about that one.
Well, they make, I don't, it's never as last minute as you think.
Right.
That piece was put together. Like, come on.
Definitely they knew the tune,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's like, you know,
It's just cool to watch him freeform like that, though, hey?
yeah.
He was on Letterman quite a bit, too. Yeah, it was 85 or 86 when Sammy joined the band because he had shorter hair. And they did Panama instrumental and a couple other things.
Well,
like
I saw the Panama
cutting to-
instrumental.
yeah.
It's hard to watch. There's another
he's
guy.
in a Hawaiian shirt, is he not?
There was something going on, but Paul
Yeah.
Schaefer, I mean, again, talented,
Again,
super brilliant
Oh,
guy. No doubt about it.
Not cool.
But not going to happen. And then he's doing the lead lines from Panama on some fucking Korg patch, and I'm like, dude, that's not working for me.
Great book, too. Schaefer's book.
I heard that.
And that guy, you're right. Talent out the ass, but he's not cool, however you define that. But man, this guy's played with everybody. And he is revered. Like, he's
Yeah.
a talented fucking dude.
I know.
Okay, well, that was fun.
Okay, good.
Till next time, that was
Yeah.
the big 4-0. We'll just put some sound design here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. Peace out.